Is Pakistan's asymmetric warfare strategy a real threat for India or just a gimmick? Asymmetric warfare is a strategy that leverages unconventional tactics to challenge a more powerful adversary. Pakistan has often used this approach against India with key features like proxy warfare, cyber warfare, and the use of unmanned aerial vehicles. These tactics challenge traditional warfare norms, creating a complex and multifaceted battlefield. But how significant are these threats? Let's delve further into each of these aspects to understand their implications. Imagine a shadowy network of non-state actors nurtured and supported by a state to wage war against its neighbor. This is not a plot from a Hollywood thriller, but a reality faced by India. Pakistan has strategically utilized non-state actors such as Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, and Hizbul Mujahideen to engage in proxy warfare against India. These groups, often supported by the Pakistani military and intelligence agencies, operate from within Pakistan's borders, exploiting the country's existing terrorist infrastructure. Training camps, launch pads, and safe havens allow these organizations to plan and execute attacks against India with chilling efficiency. By outsourcing violence to these non-state actors, Pakistan is able to maintain a degree of plausible deniability, complicating India's ability to respond effectively. The ongoing support and shelter provided to these groups by Pakistan paints a concerning picture of state-sponsored terrorism. This shadowy network forms the backbone of Pakistan's asymmetric warfare strategy, a dangerous game that threatens stability and peace in the region. In the digital age, warfare is not just about bullets and bombs. It's about bytes and bandwidth too. Pakistan's burgeoning cyber warfare capabilities represent a new frontier in its asymmetric warfare strategy. These capabilities can potentially disrupt India's critical infrastructure, filch sensitive information, and disseminate propaganda. The goal is clear: to destabilize and delegitimize. Simultaneously, the skies are not left untouched. Pakistan's use of drones, like the Burak and Shapa, for reconnaissance and combat missions adds another layer of threat. These unmanned aerial vehicles, with their stealth and precision, can challenge Indian air defense systems, providing Pakistan with a bird's-eye view of the battlefield and even the capability to strike targets from a safe distance. In this era of advanced technology, it's clear that the digital battlefield is just as important as the physical one in asymmetric warfare. The struggle for dominance extends from the ground to the cyberspace and the skies. The threat of nuclear annihilation has always been a potent weapon in the arsenal of any nation. In the case of Pakistan, it has been developing short-range ballistic missiles such as the NASA. These missiles are not just for show, they have the capability to deliver nuclear warheads, posing a direct threat to Indian cities and military installations. But Pakistan's nuclear strategy doesn't stop there. It boasts an arsenal of around 150 to 200 warheads. More concerning is its doctrine of full-spectrum deterrence. This doctrine implies a willingness to use nuclear weapons in response to a conventional attack, a posture that could drastically escalate any conflict. The implications of this are profound. It means that even a limited conflict could potentially result in a nuclear exchange. It's a stark reminder that the stakes in this region are incredibly high. The nuclear dimension adds a whole new level of complexity to the asymmetric warfare strategy. Propaganda has always been a powerful weapon in any war. In the digital age, Pakistan has weaponized information using social media, fake news, and propaganda to mold public opinion, sow confusion, and demoralize the Indian military and populace. This form of information warfare can blur the lines between reality and fiction, making it a potent tool in the arsenal of asymmetric warfare. Simultaneously, Pakistan's Special Services Group and other elite forces play a crucial role in unconventional warfare. Trained to operate behind enemy lines, they conduct sabotage and gather intelligence, further complicating the battlefield. These special forces are the sharp edge of Pakistan's asymmetric strategy, capable of striking at India's vulnerabilities while remaining elusive. In the grand scheme of things, controlling the narrative can be a deciding factor in warfare. In the age of information, controlling the narrative can be as decisive as controlling the battlefield. The line between war and peace can often be blurred in asymmetric warfare. One of the most potent tactics in Pakistan's asymmetric warfare playbook is border infiltration. This involves using an intricate network of tunnels and border crossings to smuggle not just terrorists, but also weapons into Indian territory, particularly in sensitive areas like Jammu and Kashmir. The audacity of this method lies not just in its brazenness, but also in its effectiveness. But the real masterstroke comes after the infiltration. Pakistan employs a strategy of deniability. They deny any involvement in these operations, creating a shroud of uncertainty. This strategy is not just about physical warfare, it's psychological warfare too. It's about keeping the enemy guessing, keeping them on their toes. But it also makes it challenging for India to respond effectively. How does one retaliate against an enemy that is always lurking in the shadows, always denying their actions? This strategy of deniability makes it challenging for India to respond effectively. So, is Pakistan's asymmetric warfare strategy a real threat for India or just a gimmick? The answer isn't simple. The elements of Pakistan's asymmetric warfare, from proxy warfare to cyber attacks, UAVs to ballistic missiles, and information warfare to special operations, all contribute to a multifaceted threat that India cannot ignore. These strategies disrupt India's economic growth, provoke social unrest, and challenge India's military intelligence. They also compromise India's sovereignty over Jammu and Kashmir and escalate tensions between the two nations. This unending cycle of threat and counter-threat could potentially trigger a larger, more devastating conflict. But India is not defenseless. To counter these threats, India must adopt a comprehensive strategy. This includes strengthening military and intelligence capabilities to anticipate and neutralize threats before they can cause harm. It involves enhancing cybersecurity to protect critical infrastructure and data, and developing effective counter-terrorism strategies to dismantle terrorist networks. India must also improve border management and surveillance to prevent infiltration and arms smuggling. Diplomatic efforts are crucial to isolate Pakistan internationally, exposing its illicit activities and pressuring it to cease its asymmetric warfare strategies. Finally, India must build strong relationships with regional and global partners to collectively counter Pakistan's asymmetric strategies. Whether a threat or a gimmick, the asymmetric warfare strategy warrants serious consideration and a comprehensive response. The security and sovereignty of India hang in the balance, and the nation's resolve and resilience will determine the outcome.